and welcome to TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. We are through to the Copa del Rey final. Barcelona in this Clasico semi-final encounter. 1-1 after the first leg. It was all to play for tonight at the Santiago Bernabeu and of course at Real Madrid's own stadium. We've got it in us to go there, get a result, get a performance. We did that tonight. 3-0 it's finished at the Bernabeu, and I have to say that is very, very intriguing to me, simply because on the balance of play, you have to say it was very, very level tonight. Real Madrid, certainly in that first half, they had their chances, they had a lot of possession of the ball, they did some good things, but somehow we've been very, very productive in front of goal, we've been clinical, which is something that we haven't always been within the past few weeks. That element of our game in front of goal, finishing our chances, is extremely pleasing. Dembélé and Suárez clinical tonight. 3-0 Barça, on to the cup final. We are going to be discussing in its entirety what went down. And if we first of all take a look at both lineups here from Barça and Real, and it was pretty much what we expected from both teams in terms of Roberto and Nelson Semedo here out on the right hand side, both of them playing together with the view of stopping Vinicíus Junior, which I have to say did not happen. We're going to come on to that, of course. Then you got Longley here alongside Piqué. No Samuel Umtiti. Longley started, and I think there had a pretty good game. Vasquez was mainly deployed to stop Jordi Alba, which once again happened, but not throughout the game. On the occasions that Alba could get forward and could link up with Dembélé, one of the goals there was played in by Alba, Dembélé in behind, and when that happened, we really hurt Real. That's another thing that we're really going to be talking about here. Casemiro was marshalling Messi right throughout this game, and Suárez was up against Ramos and Raphael Varane, and still managed to score two and play a big, big part, of course, in the own goal. But I want to talk about this right-hand side, because tonight, of course, we played Semedo, we played Roberto, and I think with Roberto, we actually sacrificed, really, a man here out on this right-hand side, because I feel tonight we didn't actually stop Vinicíus, we didn't actually stop the threat of Real Madrid down our right-hand side, simply because Vinicíus here against Semedo, it happened right throughout the game. Reguilón would come on the overlap, and quite often we'd see Semedo here pretty isolated out on that right-hand side against two players, and Reguilón was easily getting in behind. Vinicíus exactly the same, and Vinicíus was also moving into a lot of central areas tonight. He was picking the ball up pretty much unmarked, and I just think Roberto Semedo tonight, it didn't really work. Once again here, Valverde is going to have to consider this kind of option not really being viable in these kind of games, because we didn't stop the threat of Vinicíus, we sacrificed a man, there wasn't really too much of an offensive plan. Roberto didn't make a lot of runs here, he didn't really pick the ball up in Real Madrid's half whatsoever. All of the running in the final third was done by Dembélé. Whenever he got into these spaces here, we spoke about it in the build-up, that's where you could hurt Real. On the left he did it, he switched to the right, he got the goal there from the right-hand side. Whenever he got in behind, whenever we managed to release him, he caused danger, and that's what won us the game tonight. But before we talk about those goals in a bit more detail, there's two things that I absolutely have to address tonight. Number one is Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. He was absolutely unbelievable at 0-0, at 1-0 up. He made crucial saves in this game, which really led to the result being so comfortable. Yes, we scored the goals, but it was Ter Stegen at the back, the shot stopper that he is, keeping Real Madrid out almost single-handedly at times. You think of the save there in the first half from Vinicíus, who had a number of chances in front of goal. I actually think tonight, even though Vinicíus was Real Madrid's best player, he was really creative, he was running at us, he was causing us so many problems. What he is very, very poor in the final third. Once he works on that, he will be an extremely good player. But right now, he can't score, and he isn't really getting it right in the final third in front of goal. He had a big chance, Ter Stegen saved, he had another one with his strong goal, he had a bad touch, Longley gets back, and Vinicíus managed to get it to Benzema, but then Benzema shoots on goal, and Ter Stegen is there again, blocking the chance, making the saves, 4 saves in total tonight, and there was a chance in the second half, Reguilón from the header, again Vinicíus down the left-hand side, creating something, Reguilón getting into the box, he's unmarked, see what I mean? We weren't really stopping that threat there from Vinicíus and Reguilón. Reguilón gets the header on goal, but Ter Stegen, what a brilliant save. He gets full stretch, off to his left-hand side, 2 hands on it, really strong save, half the stadium thought that it was in, a brilliant stop in a big, big moment, and like I say, Ter Stegen tonight, even though he scored 3 goals, he was vital for this win. And another thing that I want to talk about is penalties and VAR, simply because you get a lot of Real Madrid fans tonight saying, look, at 0-0, we were denied a penalty on Vinicíus, it was in the box, there was slight contact there from Nelson Semedo, and on many occasions, yes, you have seen a penalty given for that, and I don't really understand why it doesn't go to VAR. I really do believe there's a lot of grey areas right now over the technology, but at the same time, you can't moan about that, simply because in the second half, there was exactly the same thing that happened Ramos on Ivan Rakitic. I think think Rakitic actually today was really good. He was good against Sevilla. He was good again tonight. He moving into the box. He was making a driving run. Good control. He's into the area. Ramos clearly makes contact with Rakitic, not with the ball. It should have been a penalty. Exactly the same. So yes, Real were denied one, but also so are we. They can't moan about referees tonight. All that cost them is their finishing in front of goal. Because yes, they certainly had chances. They created opportunities. They were very, very good. But on the counter-attack, we were absolutely lethal. And because of that, it was Dembélé who was the star today. Now, out on the left-hand side, I personally don't think that Dembélé is as dangerous on the left combined with Jordi Alba as he is on the right. I think personally, Dembélé and Semedo as a combination, as a duo, would be so much better, as we've seen in the past. But on the left in the first half, he didn't really get an awful lot. In the second half, Alba managed to find him on one occasion, and that was all we needed. Dembélé tonight was so clinical. It wasn't like Vinicíus. Dembélé didn't have 10 attempts in front of goal. He didn't have 10 chances where he managed to get one or two of them. He had one or two moments, but he made them count. When it really mattered, he stepped up. The first one, he's played in by Alba. He gets there ahead of Carvajal. His pace gets him onto it. It's a really good measured ball into the box, into Luis Suárez, who gets there before Ramos. Tonight, we saw the light ignite again in Luis Suárez. We saw the fire in his eyes. We saw that determination in the second half to make things happen, to get there first, to put away your chance. That is the Suárez that we know. That is the Suárez that we love. And deep down, even though Suárez has been bad, even though his form, of course, is not what it was, you know that in these kind of games against Real Madrid, when it really matters, he still has the ability in there to step up when it matters, be clinical, and score big goals. I still retain hope that Suárez, in big moments this season, in the Champions League, can do this kind of thing. Even if he isn't brilliant 100% of the time, even if we can just have these moments, score those goals, deliver the killer blow, he did that tonight. Gets there ahead of Ramos, gets the finish, Keylor Navas no chance, and that's a massive goal there at 1-0. And the second goal, once again, is all about Ousmane Dembélé. Suárez is in the box, he could easily get another goal himself, but it goes down as a Varane own goal. But it's Semedo this time, linking up with Dembélé, who switches over to the right. He makes the run himself. It was a sort of counter-attack. We had a lot of them on the night. And I tell you what, Dembélé makes some fantastic runs. Right throughout the game, he's making brilliant runs, and he wasn't always found. There was one or two counter-attacks. We really had Real Madrid on the ropes, but we didn't find him. Semedo did, though. He times his run perfectly, as you can see here. He stays on side, bends his run. He's into the Real Madrid final third, and again, he makes his mark. He doesn't just put a cross in. He doesn't just wildly blind it across the box. He picks out there a perfect area, because in that area, two things are going to happen. One, Suárez is going to tap it in. That's going to happen. Or two, Varane tries to stop the ball, but he can't do anything other than put it in his own net. Dembélé, brilliant again. And then, of course, the penalty. Suárez again, the light in his eyes, the desire to get to that ball, to take on his man. There's just a bit more sharpness about him tonight, and that's what makes all the difference. Suárez, with a bit more sharpness, a bit more care in his play, he can do these kind of things. He's brought down, clear penalty, no doubt about it. And Messi, of course, selfless as always. He says, look, Suárez, you want it, you take it, Luis. And boy, did he take it. He steps up. That is the confidence that we need to see on a week-by-week basis. He steps up to the ball. He doesn't smash it. He doesn't place it. He panenkas it into the right-hand corner. Navas looks like a clown. He goes the completely wrong way. The ball just trickles into the net. It's the ultimate humiliation for Real Madrid in their own backyard again at the Bernabeu. We've won the game 3-0. 3-0 tonight. And I tell you what, we didn't even play well. We didn't even play that well. Yet we have still, on the scoreline, crushed Real. We've knocked them out of the cup. Once again, they've gone out of the Copa del Rey. We are into yet another final. We are going for 5 in a row in the Copa del Rey. But on Saturday, it's going to be a really intriguing game. In the league, a big competition again. We want to strengthen our lead at the top. We want to complete that superiority over Real Madrid. And that tactical battle on Saturday is going to be key. We have to do more to stop Vinicíus. We have to do more to really stop that threat down the right. But also, we need to pose more of a threat. We need to use those wings much more, because as you've seen tonight, that's where you can hurt Real. Dembélé was instrumental. Suárez was back there when we really needed him. Clinical in front of goal. Brilliant finishing. Let's continue that, but also let's have a bit more control. I believe Arthur will bring that. That will be a huge dynamic in our favour in that game. And of course, plenty more coming up in the coming days, discussing what we're going to do. So please leave your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. What did you think of tonight's performance? What did you think individually of each player? Who do you think did well? What won us tonight's game? And what do you think going into Saturday's game? Do we need to do differently? Do we need to do the same? Let me know in the comments down below. But all that we know tonight is that at the Bernabeu, once again, we we are victorious and we're on our way to yet another Copa del Rey final, and tomorrow we will find out whether it's Valencia or Real Betis who will be joining us in that one. Thanks as always, guys, for your consistent support and for joining me tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you soon. But until then, as always, Visca El Barça!